everyone, it's Danika here, and thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel. Or if this is your first time, then hey, how you doing? But yeah, love this eye. If you want to see how I created this ultra colourful eye, then please keep watching. Oi oi, let's do this. So I'm going to take the Revolution Pro eyebrow pencil, and I'm going to try something new today with this. So it's the first time I am going to be using it, and it's in the shade... Okay, so it doesn't have the shade on the thing, but it was £4, so, you know. But it would have been like a taupey sort of ash brown shade to match my brows. I would have tested it in Superdrug. Let's give the brows just a little brush and then start to fill them in. So I'm going to, like always, just start up here. Little flicking motions, just like how the hairs would be if I weren't so bloody sparse in this area. Yeah, if I was to get microblading, I would literally say to the lady, "Excuse me love, can you just do this bit please?" I don't know, she'd be like, "You're wasting my time." But yeah, straight away that brow's looking rather red though, isn't it? I would have gone for the cool tones, but it's coming off onto the skin slightly ginger. It looks like, you know when you fake tan your face and then it gets stuck to your hairs, all of a sudden you've got ginger eyebrows. Yeah, it kind of looks like that. Oh, is this a miss? I think it might be. Hold on, I'm going to turn the camera brightness down because I think it's looking a little bit white. Yeah, I think this product's a little bit too fair for my hair shade. But then the only other shade from what I remember was that ebony, which is like black, and I don't want fucking black eyebrows. Looks like I'm going to be going back to my Precision Brow Pencil by NYX. Okay, so what I've done to get rid of that, I just grabbed my NYX pencil, proper scrubbed the hairs, and then went back in and filled them out, just to get the right shade. Otherwise, yeah, I don't want ginger eyebrows, to be honest. I do miss my ginger hair though. Alright, like always, I'm just going to pick up my Plouise base in the shade 02 Rumour. Let's set this lid and then carve out that brow. So, a little update. You know I said that I ordered that big massive one, the 330ml. I got it in the post, yeah, opened it, and they bloody sent me the black base, the 15ml one, with the brush, like the little set. The big one was £100. I was like, nah, screwing, because I'm literally, like, this is the last time I get to use the O2 base. I was like cutting it, squeezing it out, like, please work. And yeah, so now I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to mix shade 3 and 1 to get 2, because yeah, that's just like my perfect shade. And I've messaged them and they're like, can you send me photographic proof? I'm like, you think I'm lying? So yeah, I did that, and now I've got to wait for the base to come through. Bit bad really though, because now they've sent me that black one. They haven't actually asked me to send it back, so I don't know what they want me to do with it, because I'm well tempted to give that a go, especially that brush, to see how that holds up, if it's worth having a whole brush dedicated to a base, you know? So I might just use it. Just gonna use a concealer buffer brush and get rid of any of those little lines and buff out this edge. Yeah, that ain't the best eyebrow I've ever done, but who cares? We'll try and sort it out later. Or I'll just get a picture of the other side. So, for today's eye, I'm thinking of doing something proper bright and colourful. So, I'm going to use the Plouise Saint and Sinner. No, fuck me. The Secret Sinner. But then why would she have two palettes that are very close in names? Fucking confusing, man. I'm going to take the Plouise Secret Sinner palette, and I'm going to use the shade Addicted. Now for this eye I want to be using complementary colours, so that's a nice purple colour, and then I'm going to be using lots of yellows and stuff to really bring them to life. If you're not too familiar with complementary colours, what they are two colours on the colour wheel that are right opposite each other, so they really make each other pop. For example, you've got red and green, really bring each other out, or blue and orange, and in this case, like I said, yellow and purple. So that's the plan. So I've picked up that Addicted colour on my fave little tiny brush. This is the Sigma E36. And I'm going to begin to stamp this on the eye in the shape that I want the colour to be. So what I'm going to do is be picking up tons of colour. Don't be tapping off that colour. It's like gold dust. We want to keep it nice and pigmented. And be pushing that into the skin to create a little stencil of the shape that we want the eye. So you're going to see me be dipping into my palette and picking up the colour quite a few times to really get that proper bright and solid. Do you remember when we were little? I don't know why that proper cracked me up, but when you'd be like, alright, solid, or step back, sorry, hard. Oh, it used to crack me up. Why would we say that? I bet most people were like, no, we never said that. Oh, it was funny, the other day I was talking to my boyfriend and we were like, what do you say instead of saying something with like an Essex accent? You either say sank or summing. So we was like, oh, it's sank over there, or it's summing over there. Basically, I say sank and it made me realise that I'm such a chav. I hate the Essex accent so much. But it could be worse. You could have like a Towie accent where everything's like, alright honey. Like honestly, I would literally be sick in my mouth saying that. Any of yous get texture here? How the hell would you get rid of that? Like, why is that textured? Drives me mad. I've got this clean Sigma blending brush. I haven't got a clue what it's called, but I will list it down below because it has rubbed off. And I'm just gonna diffuse this edge a little bit more. Try and keep it nice and rounded, which I've always found quite difficult. I'm just so tempted to be like, ooh, let's blow that out here, but no, let's keep it here as much as we can. Unless I muck it up and I'm like, yeah, I always wanted to really bring it out. Do I wanna add pink to make it appear more purple and not blue, or add yellow? But then I don't want a pink eye, you know what I mean? All the struggles. Might do a tiny little bit. I'm going to keep that same brush in our hand and I'm going to use the shade Idolize, which is a little bit pinkier. Don't want to add too much because like I said, I don't want this to be a pink eye, but I want to kind of bring it back to that purpley sort of shade. So let's just go a little bit higher. Little stamping motions, and then we'll do little windshield wiper motions to blend it out a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh shit, this is going into Barney territory, isn't it? Or Mr. Blobby. Oh no, he was pink with yellow spots. Shit. And if you don't know who they are, she too young for you, bro. Maybe I'm too freaking old. My mum always says that when I was a baby, that I looked like Mr. Blobby because I was fat and pink and had like yellow spots on me. Fucking well out of order, isn't it? Okay, so I want to go back to that purple shade Addicted and re-intensify so it's not so pink. I really hope this doesn't stain either because that is such a bastard to get off. And everyone's looking at you like, oh my god, are you okay? Like, you got pink eye or something. Alright then, so back to this brush. Still nice and clean. We haven't dipped this into the pan and we're just going to scrub away that edge. I say scrub, don't scrub. Just a really light hand. Yeah, I feel that's a little bit more purple. Let's take this big fluffy brush from Sigma, and this is the E40. Just grabbed the shade Climax on it, and I'm going to begin to use this as my transition shade. You want to be able to see the yellow, so to begin with, I am taking the product and stamping it right above that pink, because if I was just to blend it through like that, then it would bloody go everywhere. I'd have a yellow eyebrow as well as a fucking ginger one. But yeah, just stamp it to begin with, and then once we're happy with the intensity of it, then we can start to blend it. Don't forget this little bit here, we want it to be cohesive. Okay, I'm quite happy with that yellow, so now we're just going to really buff away those edges, and don't be afraid to go quite high with it because we haven't dipped back in. Just going to go back in with the pink and then again with the purple just to reinforce those colours because we might have lost them from the blending. So I have had a little bit of a fail actually. So I done the right eye off camera just so I know where I'm going with this eye, so that I'm not like I'm in an and I can get it all done and filmed. So I done a base with the Plouise base, and then I chucked the peaches and cream pigment straight over the top like I have done 1,000 times with a few of their pigments. This one I used was called Super Freak. Yep, and look at it. Hope that's coming out on camera how patchy it is, like there. So that's what I mean about these peaches and cream pigments. Some of them, fabulous, others are just shit. And that's why I don't reach for them as much, or when I do, I stick to the good ones. So I'm just going to have to change that and you will only see this eye. So I'm going to take that base again, the one that we used to set the lid, and then I'm going to start to carve out my half cut crease. Once you're happy with the shape of the concealer base, then I like to just look forward so I can make sure that there's lots of lid space so you'll actually be able to see the colour. Unless you've got hench lid space, you probably don't got to worry about that. So I'm happy with that shape now, and I'm just going to keep tapping out the product just to make sure that it's not too wet. Also with them peaches and cream pigments, I find some of them you can use foiled with a little bit of Fix Plus on your brush and they like blend out lovely, and others they like ball up into like little crumbly messes. I'll fling it across the bloody room. Yeah, let me know if any of you have that same issue. Maybe I do have faulty products, but I have bought 2 separate batches, so I don't bloody know. Just going to quickly soften this edge. Any little tiny brush that you have will do. This is just a Zoe with a pencil brush. I just want to melt that into the purple so it blends nice. Alright, let's take a little bit of that purple again and just re-intensify this outer corner. Then, just like before, we're going to lay that pink just next to it, if not overlapping a tiny bit. And I think I want this pink to kind of go in a diagonal line across the eyelid. Okay, now I picked up Climax on a MAC brush. I will list it down below the exact shade, and I'm going to stamp this over the remaining parts of the base. Okay, once that's done, let's take that pink and really start to melt it into that yellow. Just start off with a real light hand and it should blend nicely. I'm going to do a real slight fine line, and to do this I'm going to use mixing liquid from Mehron and also that Super Freak pigment from Peaches and Cream, and I'm going to mix these together. Now just only take a tiny little bit on your brush and a tiny little bit of that pigment, mix them together, and then you can actually create like liners and stuff with it. It's a really cool product. Oh, I'm actually well chuffed with that. I was low-key shitting myself about trying to do that line, because if it turned out like that I was locking myself in my room and crying. But yeah, what I just used was this tiny little brush, and this is in fact a brush for nail art, and I got it on eBay along with one with a slightly longer tip, and yeah, it was like £2, so winning. I think this eye looks sick. I might keep it on to go to the dentist. So I'm just putting on a tiny little bit of mascara, and this is the Smokey eye mascara from Bobbi Brown. So for today's lash, I'm going to do the Tatti TL24, and I've just loaded it up with a little bit of duo lash glue, and I'm going to fan it about and leave it to sit for a couple of minutes to become nice and tacky. Ah! I hate that. kind of. Oh, let's sort that out, 'cause that looks shit. Okay, well this lash has been a bit of a fail. Probably didn't let that glue get sticky enough. So to do the waterline, I'm going to use Jeffree Star's mini liquid lipsticks in the shade Queen Bee, and I'm going to leave this to set on my hand just for a second because I am a contact lens wearer, and if you go in with this product in your waterline when it's really wet, then it will adhere to your contact lens and it can be quite painful. So just let it to set, get nice and tacky, and then run it through that waterline. Okay, for concealer, let's use something really nice and affordable. Let's use the Revolution Conceal and Define in the shade C6, and just dot this under your eye. Let's now take a damp sponge, press this into the skin. So for underneath the eye, I'm going to use I'm Royalty, which is another Jeffree Star liquid lipstick. These are brilliant because they are eye safe, so you can actually use these as eyeshadows too. I'm just going to take this on a pencil brush and really get close to that lash line. And they blend out like a dream. So I want to replicate what's on top underneath. So we're going to use that brush again with the shade Idolize, that nice pink, and we're going to place this under that purple shade or overlap it slightly. And then like we did on top, we're just going to really smoke out that with that nice yellow shade. Now just to make this ever so slightly more wearable, because let's face it, you could totally leave your house like this, I'm going to take some NYX glitter glue and some little tiny purple stars, and I'm just going to jazz up that inner corner. If you guys want me to trial any products or to create any other sort of makeup looks, then please let me know. I will try and do that for you. As always, I've had so much fun creating this. I think this look turned out pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. If this is a little bit too colourful for you, scrap the yellows and the purples, go back to neutrals and browns, just use my technique and I'm sure it'll look lovely. If you like this video, help me out please, give me a little thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, also turn on that bell so that you can get notifications every time I upload, which are Wednesdays and Sundays, so you don't ever miss a video. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.